That's Port Aransas. I'm sending it back to you. This is everybody from Port Aransas.
See you this weekend, and we're back after your local news.
Hundreds of people have turned out, as you can see behind me here, marching for Dr. King's legacy and his fight for equal rights.
Guys, I've been trying to stay afloat in this canoe, and it's going well so far.
For those who are shy out there and who may not want to do this, what would you tell them?
It's a lot of fun. If you're competitive, it's a great thing to do.
What a wonderful performance we saw at the top of the hour. Now talk to me. You used to be an ice skater. That's not an easy job, right? First Smith, driving around town with the windows down and the AC off. Port Aransas is a golf cart town, making it easy for folks to visit attractions, restaurants, shops, and the beach. Another fun and modern activity for the students is called the Periodic Table of Black History. Students can take their phone, scan the QR code on the table, and learn all about these influential figures. The Runners Club pilot program is great for exercise,
Socializing.
but also supporting local businesses at the end. I'm here at the Lawrence at T-Head Street, and the winds are intensifying and the rain has picked up. I'm gonna go ahead and step out of frame here, and as you can see that the water has risen, there's a truck there. The Biden administration is ending a controversial immigration restriction known as Title 42. Well, good news. If you're still waiting on that stimulus check, the IRS announced that economic impact payments will be mailed out. And Joe, another issue that remains a concern, beef prices. It's something that impacts every American. We know President Biden announced an effort to bring down the cost of beef. Can you tell us what that effort includes? 24-year-old Albert Guerrero says he attended the Astro World concert on November 5th and shares with us some of the things he saw that led up to the tragic event. Albert Guerrero tells us him and his girlfriend and her 18-year-old sister decided to watch the concert from the back of the crowd because he says he knew trying to make his way to the front may be dangerous.
Most of the concerts I've been to, even in my life, these rap and hip hop concerts, they get crazy, especially when you have a performer like Travis Scott. You know, so we played it safe. We stayed in the back.
Guerrero says before the show even began, he saw a golf cart with emergency sirens drive past them, transporting what looked like someone in distress.
I specifically remember seeing this guy on the cart because I told my girlfriend, hey, like that guy does not look passed out. He looks like he's been out for a while. You know, but at the same time, as many concerts we've been to, we've seen this happen all the time. People pass out and people, you know, they're out of it. They're totally out of it.
Guerrero says at one point during the performance, Travis Scott did acknowledge people were passing out in the crowd.
He's asking the security and the paramedics, like, please, he says, please, can y'all get her out? Can you get him out? I mean, and things like that, they happen all the time. People pass out all the time.
Guerrero attended Astro World in 2019 and says he remembers trying to make his way through the packed crowd. He says too many tickets for the venue were sold back then and believes the concert hosted more people than it could handle this time around.
Well, those are concerts that you're going to have to be willing to be pushed around, be squished up against people, and that's why I made the decision ahead of time, for my girlfriend and her sister, that we were going to stay a little more towards the back.
Travis Scott tweeted out, quote, "I'm absolutely devastated by what took place last night. My prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened at Astro World Festival."
All right.
That's him, Jason Grosboll, or as the world knows him, Popcorn Guy.
And then
He's been working at Century Theaters for 10 years, and he's not just showcasing his tricks while serving popcorn with extra layers of butter.
I get to interact with so many different people. I get to try so many different tricks. I get to make people smile, happy, laugh. You always want to make sure they always come in right out. You close the lid, and then you just wait until it's done. I do it just for the fun of it.
Jason says it's been sweet since going viral.
I'm still a little bit shocked, but it feels amazing though.
Besides signing autographs on popcorn buckets, making people smile, and working hard,
I play a lot of video games. I watch a lot of anime.
And at his apartment complex, he says he's there to lend a helping hand.
So I basically watch over everyone's building for them. I've actually done a bunch of stuff to help them out. I even put like a fire out in the backyard one time.
And on top of that,
I take care of my dad.
The man he says inspired him to be the popcorn guy.
My dad always works hard at his job. He does the best that he can, and he always tries his best. And I got the inspiration to try that from here.
I'm Corderro McMurry, Chris 6 Sunrise. I don't think y'all understand how hard that is. Like I was tempted to try here, and I was like, I better not make a fool of myself. Jason is a phenomenal person. I worked with him when I used to work at the theater. Great guy.
Jason, just, man, go out there and have a fun time at the Oscars.
Robstown, Texas, population of around 11,000, majority Hispanic or Latino. The city has a rich history of agricultural workers who mainly picked cotton until the early 1950s. But what makes this city special and united is its pride for its ancestral history. Despite the controversial name, Cotton Pickers has stirred up more than once.
It was a hard-working occupation that we earned money and made a living from.
John P. Manning was the Robstown football coach in 1921. He came up with the Cotton Picker mascot name. He became high school principal in 1922, and historians tell me the name was chosen because of the cotton industry in the region. And at that time, there were 18 cotton gins in Robstown.
It was a revered profession within this area. Mom worked in it, dad worked in it, uncle worked in it, los tías and tías, abuelita worked in it, and guess who else was there? The kids.
It was earning a living, it was providing food for us and shelter.
In 1985, Armando Gonzalez became the Robstown athletic director, head football coach at then Pickerland. In 1986, he found a photo of what he thought was a proud-looking cotton boll and a representation of what it meant to pick cotton. From there, Coach Gonzalez made sure this logo became the symbol for the Robstown Independent School District, the Cotton Bowl.
We certainly didn't at the time and certainly don't at this time, even now, consider it with racial overtones.
Everybody in Robstown at one point in time picked cotton. Blacks, whites, Hispanics.
Alice Upshaw Hawkins spent the first 7 years of her life in Robstown before moving to Corpus Christi. She says she attended a segregated school from 1950 to 1957 and was a cotton picker by choice. She tells us she gets asked often as a black woman, how does she feel about being called a cotton picker? She says she doesn't take offense.
I remember going to the cotton fields with my mother, and my sister and I, we would make little piles of cotton while she came along and she would pick the piles up.
For Upshaw, being a cotton picker in South Texas was a source of income. She says she still remembers graduating from picking cotton to pulling cotton.
You know, when you pull cotton, you pull the whole boll off. When you pick it, you pull the cotton out of the bowl and leave the bowl standing.
I, as a Robstonian, just wanted to say, no, the Cotton Pickers mascot is not intended to be racist, but it can easily come off as such if you're not aware of the town's history.
Tommy Cabello was part of the Robstown High School band in February of this year when the mascot name went viral again.
Robstown High School gaining attention once again for the use of its mascot name, Cotton Pickers.
Yeah, this after a video has gone viral and it's garnered more than 1 million views.
Robstown ISD is clarifying their high school's mascot's name after it took off on social media this weekend.
So he decided to create a YouTube video to educate others.
I'm gonna go ahead and share the actual meaning of that name and, that it's not a bad thing.
Also, Robstown Superintendent Dr. Jose Moreno responding, saying, to be a cotton picker or pescador was revered as an admirable profession from which men, women, and children as collective families earn the badge of honor to be considered productive citizens of our great nation.
There's definitely no ill harm or meaning behind the word in any way. It's a point of pride in what the industry was, what it is today, and where it's going in the future.
Robstown Mayor Gilbert Gomez says their history and tradition of what it means to be a cotton picker is still being handed down to the new generation.
It helps educate people about South Texas, about Robstown, our community, about the cotton pickers, and if people would just understand that it has nothing to do with race, it has nothing to do with being derogatory, it's something about what we used to do here.
But not everyone agrees. Some have suggested a change in name and mascot altogether, while others have suggested it be changed to its Spanish translation, Los Pescadores.
There's no reason hiding behind a translation of the word. Los Pescadores is cotton pickers. To pescar means to pick cotton.
When it comes to our town, everyone's united. When it comes to our name, everyone's united. When it comes to our football team, our baseball team, our basketball team, we're all united. And that all stands behind our cotton picker name.
Now, Dr. Moreno says there are no plans to change the name, and the district is educating others about its history and cotton picker pride. I'm Corderro McMurry, Chris, 6 Sunrise.